Good day, traders. Welcome back to the RMDTRADER Weekly Market Fix, where we will discuss the hottest market opportunities for the week laying ahead of us. Last week was arguably a difficult week for trading, as we saw many false breaks and just overall volatility that made it really tricky to identify targets in the short term. Hopefully, we will start seeing some trends emerging this week, which should present us with some great risk-reward based entries. Starting this week's market fix by having a look at cryptocurrency and once again Bitcoin. Last week we saw price hit our $20,000 target, and what I did also notice is that we still have this bigger head and shoulders target that's sitting at the 13,800 level. And also what I also noticed is if we do a measured move from the highs of November last year to the swing low in January, and we project that down from the swing high that we saw in March, then we also get a target of that about 13,800 to 14,000 level. So I would say that would be a stretch target at this stage. And at this point, we can still see this very strong bearish momentum, price trading well below the daily 21 EMA. In terms of resistance, we do still have resistance from the monthly S1 and the daily 21 EMA at the vicinity of about 25,000, with the yearly S1 also going forward acting as strong resistance at the 26,000 level. Looking at gold, when we look at the gold picture, it's also starting to look a little bit like a head and shoulders, although we are still trading above long-term support, and that is where we have these two purple lines indicating the lower boundary of this support level. And what we are looking is we need to have price stay above the daily 200 SMA and of course above the yearly pivot, which we have at this area at 1,820. As long as price can stay above this area, there will remain a strong bullish case, of course. However, if we do break back below the yearly pivots, things might start looking bearish. So at this stage, we will put out a bearish target at a lower boundary support at 1,800, and resistance would be at this area of our previous swing highs and the daily 50 SMA at 1,875. I will also quickly have a look at Brent crude oil. Brent crude oil has seen a bullish breakout, and currently we have this correction back into this area that used to be resistance, which now should act as support. We have additional support from our daily 50 SMA and the monthly pivot at this area. So we'll have to see what this week brings, but I suspect we'll see some buyers stepping back in, driving price higher, at least initially to the weekly pivot at 116 and perhaps higher towards this area of 121. Moving on to our indices and looking at the Nasdaq, we can see that we still continue to see bearish moves playing out. Our head and shoulders target still sitting down here at the yearly S2 at 10,500, so that will remain our interim target. In terms of a pullback or a correction, we will have resistance from this area at 12,200. That is where we have our weekly R2 and also the lower boundary of that neckline of that head and shoulders target. Finally, let's have a look at some Forex, and I'd like to look at two Forex pairs. The first being the AUDNZD, and as you can see, I have quite a few more Forex pairs that I am monitoring on my watch list. So these would be my top two picks for this week. So AUDNZD, I think we could expect some more bullish price action, still pretty much strong bullish and upwards trend. We have support from the yearly R1 at 1.094 or 1.095. So that would be a strong area of support should price dip a little bit lower into this area. And of course, then we will have our weekly pivot, which is not yet tested, of course, at 1.104. So that would be an immediate target for this week, with some further bullish price action expected should we see price break above that, with a target in the medium term sitting at 1.120. And finally, I'd like to have a look at GBPAUD. And if we look at GBPAUD, what we have is we have had this base that has been forming for the last 3 to 4 months. We are trading below resistance, which is currently the yearly S1. And I'd like to see what's going to happen here. But if we again reject this yearly S1 level, I suspect we might still see quite a bit of downside. And I will hold targets. I'll draw that out for you. I'll hold a short target at this monthly S1 level at 1.72. And of course, if we do break above the highs, that will give us a target at this area of the monthly R1, which would converge with the daily 100 SMA at 1.787. So that would be the bullish target and resistance. And of course, the short target sitting at, and I'll just point that out as well, that short target sitting down here at 1.719, should we see failure and buyer sellers stepping in. That will conclude our video for this week. Thanks for all our viewers. And until next week, we wish you all the best of your trading. And as always, trade smart and trade successful.